Hey everybody, welcome to another video here on the 67 Stang channel. So we've got a couple things I want to try to do in this video. So we'll go ahead really quickly and start talking about what I hope to get done this week, or this weekend. Anyway, let's get back at it. Okay guys, so what we hope to do in this video is first we're going to work on the parking brake or the hand brake or the emergency brake or whatever you want to call it, and getting it working again. When I did the floors in the car, replaced them, there were some brackets. I think I showed y'all that in the last video that were attached to the floor pans that I had to cut off and then reattach. Well, that meant I had to undo the whole emergency brake system. And so I need to go back and adjust those. And the one thing I did find when I was looking at it the other day was that one of the U-clamps had been busted. So I've got some new one of those to put on there. So we're going to get that going. I'm also going to show you how that system works for those that may not be familiar with it. So we're going to do that. I had actually hoped to do all that last weekend. Sadly, last weekend I had a little bit of a scare. My little miniature schnauzer named Lucky was having problems. I actually thought he had a stroke. Luckily, it turned out not to be. It's something called geriatric vestibular syndrome, I think is what they told me it was, which is a quick onset disease or condition that presents itself a lot like a stroke. He was he couldn't stand up. When he did get standing, he was walking in circles. He'd fall down quickly. His head was stuck tilted. Anyway, very big scare there. So I was having to deal with that last weekend. Anyway, but he's doing good now. Still has a slight head tilt. Still not quite completely stable on his feet, but he is walking around and all of that. So yay, very happy. He is 15 years old, so he's not a young dog, but he's just the sweetest thing. So anyway, very happy that he's doing better. The other thing I want to get done is under the hood. I want to put a oil pressure gauge under the hood so I can see it, a mechanical gauge. I'm actually going to use the same gauge I use for the fuel pressure. When I put the EFI on here, I'm going to put one of those in on this. That way I can double check, because right now the oil pressure gauge on the instrument cluster isn't working. Neither is the temperature gauge, and I'm having some of the other gauges aren't working. Right now the only gauge is working on the instrument cluster. The speedometer works, the ammeter works, but that's because I actually replaced it with a voltmeter. When I put on the rewired the car and put the new one-wire alternator on there. So the temperature gauge, oil pressure gauge, and the fuel gauge are not working in the car. So that's for another video. But I want to get the oil pressure in here just so I can monitor it, know what it is. Car runs fine. I'm sure I've got plenty of oil pressure. No signs I don't, but it'd be nice to know. So that's what we're going to do. So first step we're going to do is I'm going to get the car jacked up so we can get underneath it to get to those cables for the parking brake. And then I'll bring you in. We'll talk about how the system works and what I got to do, and then we'll get started. So let me go ahead and get the car jacked up, and then we'll come and take a look. Okay, so first, apologize for the vibrating noise you hear. That's washing machine running, and so got to get washed done. Anyway, so what I'm talking about, let me back out here. So the hand brake, emergency brake, is this thing right here on the 67 Mustang, 68. I can't remember if it went to a pedal brake in 68 or pedal actuated parking brake. But for 65, 66, 67, it was a hand brake. Handles have been a little different, but it's basically saying you pull this to actuate it. You turn it, push it in to turn it off. So what this does is this lever, let's see if I can get back up in here. You can see the, let's see if I can get my finger Where's my finger? There's my finger. This pulley and this cable right here is really where things go. When you pull the handle out, it pulls this cable up through this pulley and puts tension on the system. You release the handle, push it back in, it lets off tension. So that cable, as you can see, goes out through the firewall and comes out under the car. So now we'll go under the car and follow it from there. Okay, so get this situated, hopefully where we can see. Yep, there we go. So that cable comes out from there, where that grommet is, through this wrapped tube up through, so I back out here, to this bracket here. You can see the cable exiting out. Let's see, right there. Right, it comes through that, from that bracket out through this member, frame member here, and then attaches to, whoops, let's see if I can get back out here, a lever right here. Now this lever, when you pull, swings. Trying to get this along this pivot point here. So this is one of those brackets that is attached to the floor pan that I had to re-weld on. Part of it had been remained because I didn't replace this part. Let me get this part back here of the floor pan. So this stayed in place. I had to re-weld this part up here. You can tell, not the greatest. I wasn't looking for pretty, but it's holding, right? So this bracket pivots on this point here, and you can see, so I try to back out so you can see this stuff as best as possible. Okay, there, right? So it's pivots and it pulls this whole unit back, and you can see it's a Y, right? So you've got this going back to the left, left side of the brake, and then this goes to the passenger side of the right side wheel. It is then held in place by this J hook here that goes into that bracket there, which is also tacked to the floor pan, and that's one I had to replace. And not replace, re-weld when I put the new floor pan in. And as you said, that just goes back. Let's see if you can see it along there through that bracket there, and then goes back into the rear passenger wheel there. The one on the driver's side here, there we go, here goes back. See, we have one of these used clamps. This one's in pretty good shape, but then that follows all the way back through to that bracket and then back onto the rear driver's side wheel. And again, when you pull on that handle, you're putting, by pulling that handle, you cause, let's get back here, this lever here, right? See, it pulls back on this, right, which then actuates this to put tension on both these, which then back at the rear wheels back there, it actually pulls. There's a lever inside the drum because this is a drum-based system. It pulls one of the shoes out, puts it against the drum to keep the drum from spinning. Right, so right now you can see how much slack is in here. You can also see how far, right, this is adjustable, right? You can see the threaded rod here and here. You can see how it's run all the way up to here, and that's just not how it's supposed to be. So I'm going to work on getting this piece adjusted back out here, and then we're going to work on tightening up these clamps. I said I've got some new ones. I'm going to probably put more than one on here, just for safety's sake, to make sure we've got a good hold, because I've got enough to do it. But I'm going to get up under here. Like I said, first start by loosening this up. Notice you've got, whoops, where's my, two nuts, right? I've got a nut here that I can spin, and I am spinning, which begins to loosen the wheel connecting cables here. I can back this up, some. So anyway, I'm going to get in here, get this loosened up, get those, and then what I'm going to do is just basically loosen these up here, try to pull this tighter here, which then should give me enough to play with this adjustment. Right now there's no adjustment left in this because I didn't know what I was doing. So anyway, I'm going to get started on that. Okay folks, I think I've got the parking brake, emergency brake, handbrake, again, whatever you want to call it, working in the car. So you can see here, it is in the off position. And, the back tire here will roll around. Okay. I come over here and I pull her on until she clicks as I roll around. It's much easier to do. Let's see if I got enough clicks on her. Wheel doesn't roll. Wheel doesn't roll. So I think I've got her working. Couple of things to note. Let me put her off. I had to go in and really put some more lubricant on this rod that goes down the shaft here and goes back to there. And there was a bunch of white, I don't know if you can see some of that coming off. So I think that was lithium grease that had been put on there originally. I'm going back with something that Jeff Ford over at Auto Resto Mod has recommended, and trying to use some of this super lubricant or super lube up in there to get that done, so you don't get the same problem that you do with the white lithium that dries and does that stuff. One thing I'm still working on a little bit is that I don't quite like how the cable returns. You can see it's I don't know, it just looks a little bunched up there. I like it to do better. That's the other thing. So that cable, I've had to lubricate it. Let me see if I can pull the carpet back a little bit. If you can see back there where that goes in, I sprayed a bunch of that super lube down in there. Well, first I did a little WD-40 to kind of break things up and loosen it up a bit. WD-40 actually was developed originally as a cleaner, I think, for NASA. So anyway, so I let it clean some of that out. Then I came back with that super lube, and I just have been working that. Push the carpet back up, in where it goes. Just been working that in there a good bit. Also been working down underneath. So let's get underneath and take a look at that. Okay, so that's where that cable ultimately comes out at, through that rubber tube that I showed you up there and sprayed stuff. So I also was spraying stuff down here. And what I would do is I would spray it up in there, and then, coming back. Oops. Okay. I'd come back to, let's see, this bracket here, and I would push here, right? And then create, slack, and then basically pull. Let's see if I can get over here. Pull this wire back and forth after I'd sprayed some lubricant on to help really free this up. It wasn't moving very good, but I've gotten it a lot better. I'll probably work on it a little more, but it's now all of this. I went ahead and reused the same stuff to re-grease the various pivot points along here. You can also see now that that is more in the middle instead of being all the way up towards the top. It's more middle located, so it gives me more room for adjustment if I need to. So I think I'm pretty good there. I said, you saw it, it's moving really well. I think that adjustment is pretty darn good. So very happy with
with that. The where those connection points are, you can see I probably went overboard, right? Originally there was only one clamp. I put 4. I figured, this is a safety thing. The more clamps, the better. Maybe it's my IT background that I have. Redundancy is always a good thing. So I put 4. Probably overkill, but, again, safety. Why not? I did that on the driver's side as well. So we've got 4 here, including one of the originals on there. Reused it. It was good. But, so I think we've got it pretty well taken care of. You can see there's not a lot of slack on this here. It's pretty tight and whatnot. So I'm happy I can now use my parking brake if needed. So yay there. Well, still amazed. It's approaching literally the 3-year mark since I first got this thing started. And if you go back and watch the old videos and just saw how covered in spiders and dirt and all kinds of junk, God, it's amazing how much cleaner the underside of this car is, how much cleaner the overall car is. I think I'm going to go ahead and wire loom that while I'm down here. That's from the electrical fuel pump that I put on with the EFI, so I'm probably going to wire loom that while I'm down here. So I'm going to get on to doing that. Maybe I'll show you the end result of that stuff, and we'll go from there. So we'll see how this works. Maybe I won't. I don't know. We'll see. I'll talk to y'all, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Okay, folks, I went ahead and did get the wire loom for the power wires ground that go to the fuel pump we put in for the EFI. It had loom all the way up till about that point that came with the kit, so I had to run that now all the way back up and so on. So that's good in there. It helps protect the wiring, looks nicer too, keeps it nice and tidy. So yeah, I think we're all good there.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and call it a video at this point. Started looking at the oil pressure sending unit that's currently on the car and trying to get it off, and that's not going to be easy. Looks like it's not really a nut, but it looks basically like a nut that is used to put that thing on and off. It's rounded off a good bit, and it's not coming off very easily. So we may have to save that for another time. So, but we made good progress. Got the emergency brake, handbrake, parking brake, again, whatever you want to call it, working. So yay. Then we finished the wire loom on the wiring that goes back to the electric fuel pump that's part of the EFI. So I'm going to consider that a win. And I got some grease on my hands. So yeah, got turned. That was fun. So hope you've enjoyed the video. Hope you learned some things that might be helpful as you're working on your old classic car. At least one of these old Mustangs anyway. If you did, make sure to give the video a thumbs up. If you like the content I've got, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm not sure how much other things we'll be doing, but we've got a lot of little projects going on. So we still got a good bit of stuff. Still, at some point I guess start working on the body, right? So anyway, with that, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your day, weekend, whatever it is for you, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Thanks.